Welcome to lesson number 1. You're in P6. This is your final burst. It's your final sprint towards the ending point. That's your PSLE. We all want to do well for our PSLE, right? No one wants to go for a PSLE and say, oh, I'm going to go for it and I'm going to fail. Yay! That kind of thing. No one does that, all right, honestly. So we are going to do our best. And obviously, for the trial students over here, you are here because you need help with your English, all right? Let me know in the chat group which parts of English that you really need help in, and then I might go a little bit slower at those parts to help you to understand them better, but you must let me know. Also, a very important part of my classes is you need to ask questions if you don't understand, because I don't know what you don't know until you've actually told me what you don't know, or whatever I've covered that you don't understand. I will go the extra mile to cover some grammar rules. When we actually get to those grammar questions, I will go the extra mile to cover some vocabulary that you might not understand as well. But if you don't tell me, all right, I will just assume that you know the basics. But some students don't actually know the basics. Okay? You might also find that in primary 6, your teachers don't teach you grammar anymore. In fact, you already know that in primary 5. They don't actually teach you the basic grammar rules anymore. They don't cover spelling as much anymore. In the past, you used to have spelling, right? They give you 10 words or stuff like that, but you don't have spelling anymore in primary 5. Same thing in primary 6. Okay, so let this class serve as a good basis for you to ask questions that you're still unsure about, and for me to run through the grammar skills that you need, for me to run through the exam taking strategies that you need in order to help you boost your results so that you do better, not just for your PSLE, not just for your prelims, but also for your mid-year examinations. All right, so let me tell you what's going to happen this year. All right. Oh, Oscar, you still have spelling at P5 and P6. That's good. All right, it helps you to upkeep your skills with the harder words. So in P6, okay, you might have exams here and there. You might have small little tests, CA1, then after you might have a CA2 later in the year and all that. But these exams and tests, yes, they serve as a measure of your current performance, but ultimately, right, the only exam that matters in primary 6 is your PSLE. Why? It allows you to select schools for your secondary education, which is your secondary school. The better you score, the more selections you have, the more choices you have. The worse you score, right, the less choices you have, and then, right, you will be limited to those few schools that your PSLE results allow you to pick, right? Of course, you also have to think about whether the school is near your house or not. So the PSLE is kind of like the major, like the ultimate exam for primary schools, and you are going to take it this year, all right? So it's going to be, I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, don't worry about it and stuff. If there's a good time to stress and there's a good time to worry, this is the year to stress, this is the year to worry, because it's your PSLE year, all right? It will determine a lot of stuff, all right? As well as the people, the secondary school students that you meet, all right, when you go to secondary school as well. That's like, you know, different. MOE says every school is a good school, you know, but that's not actually true, as we all know. If not, why are there like different cutoff points for PSLE results? Yeah. So can I just get me and can everyone just turn on their cameras, please? Habib as well, thank you. Me and Habib, please leave your cameras turned on. Okay, so it's a very basically it's a very important year for you. All right. After your PSLE, you can have a holiday. You can go woohoo! You can throw all your books in the air. You can eat them for breakfast. Nobody really cares after that. All right. You can go woo! Oh, and then you can dance. You can, I know some students say, sure, I'm going to burn my textbooks after the PSLE. I say, sure, why not? You can go and burn it if you want to. Make sure it's safe, okay? Your parents need to supervise you. All right. But all right, the point is before that, all right, you are on a track for the ultimate exam for primary school. Okay. But let me also say you are not just taking exams in primary school. You'll be taking it in secondary school, in junior college, in polytechnic, in university. You know what? Mr. Joel himself, me, I was still taking exams last year because I just finished my second master's degree last year. So I was still taking exams in October last year. All right, I had 3 different exams. So exams are there for life. Okay, so it's about whether you have the correct strategy and whether you have the correct study methods and whether you have the correct mindset when you go into the exams. That's the important part. All right, by the way, I'm teaching you from Sydney, Australia. It's actually 10:43 p.m. here currently. It's pretty late. I know in Singapore it's just 7:43, but it's pretty late over here. Maybe I can, yeah, maybe I should turn off my background and then you can see, just enough. There we go. As you can see in the window behind me is completely dark. I'm not sure if it's completely dark here um in Singapore. And just to let you know, it's really 10:44 right now in Sydney. So it's really late. Just to let you know, if sometimes I appear a little bit stunned, it's because I might be a little bit like taken aback by the timing. Most of the time I'm okay though. Okay, so without further ado, let's have a look at today's work. And I'm very glad that some of you have actually done it online. So for my trial students today, in case you don't know, there is work that you have to do online before you come for the lessons. And it saves time because if you've already done it, I can see very clearly on the website now, whether you've gotten it wrong or whether you've gotten it correct. I can see how you've gotten it wrong as well, and then I can explain it better, basically. Those of you who have not completed your work yet, all right, I need you to give me the answers in the chat group when I get to those questions. So currently on my screen over here, I see that me hasn't done it. I see that Habib hasn't done it. Nathan and Jovi have done theirs. So fantastic. Good job, you guys. So I need the answers from me and Habib whenever you have finished, whenever we alight there. All right. For each question, I'll let you know who has it correct, who has it wrong. Those who have it wrong, you need to do your corrections. Send me your answers in the chat group as well. All right. If you get it correct, I will still add your Class Dojo points in if you do your corrections correctly. For those who haven't done it online, it's your first time doing the questions, you only have one chance to get it correct, which is when you send me the answer in the chat group directly. Okay, and that's how you gain your Class Dojo points, basically. Different questions have different weightages. MCQs, they're normally 1 mark each. All right, let's go. So today we are going to cover grammar MCQs, comprehension, cloze, synthesis, and transformation. The main thing that we are concentrating on today is synthesis and transformation. In between, you get a 5 minutes break. All right, a 5-minute break. Now, comprehension cloze is going to be tough later as well, but I'll explain it more as we go along, and then I'll talk about some good strategies that you should take when it's your exams and how you should tackle the comprehension cloze part. Next, let's have a look at grammar MCQs. First question over here. All right, I need Jovi, Oscar, me, and Habib to send me the answers. The rest got it correct. The woman what just spoke to you at the entrance is the owner of the poultry farm. All right, it's A, B, C, or D. Jovi, there's no 1, 2, 3, or 4. But Jovi, you've already answered. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So you need to give me the answer as well, Jovi. So I think you meant A, right? Answer is A, not 1. How about me and Habib and Oscar? What's the best answer that we have over here? All right, Habib says A. All right, Jovi is A. Me says it's A. How about Oscar? What do you think it is? Oscar, previously you put C for this. Is Oscar there? Oscar, hello? Where did Oscar go to? Never mind, we'll skip Oscar. I think he's gone from the screen. That's fine. So the answer is A. Very good. All right. The woman who just spoke to you at the entrance is the owner of the poultry farm. Answer is A. All right. Just a very quick reminder. Those of you who got it wrong, you probably got it confused between who and whom. So is it who or is it whom? How do we know whether it's who or whom? All right. So the important thing is we have to recognize who is the subject, who is the object over here. So let's take, for example, maybe me and Jovi got into a fight, okay? And then maybe Jovi pulled, or rather, no, Jovi pushed, all right? Jovi pushed me and she fell. Okay, now in this case, we need to ask ourselves what's the verb over here. So the verb over here is pushed, isn't it? That's the verb that interacts Jovi and me together. So who is doing the pushing? All right, Jovi is doing the pushing. So because Jovi is doing the pushing, she's the subject. Who's the one receiving the pushing? That's me over here. Me is the object because she's receiving the pushing over here. Now, when we talk about subjects, boys and girls, we say who. When we talk about objects, boys and girls, we say whom with an M behind. So if I wanted to refer to Jovi later, I will say Jovi, all right, who. All right, Jovi who what? Jovi who, okay, pushed me, all right, got into trouble. Okay, if I'm talking about me over here, I will say me whom. All right, whom what? Whom Jovi pushed. All right, had to go to the nurse's office. Okay, so over here, it would be good if we added some commas to show a little bit of a move of the phrase out here. Oh, sorry, that's not supposed to be there. All right, so Jovi who pushed me, comma, like that. Okay, so now if we look at the question over here, whether we should determine whether it's who or whom is very important. Who's the one speaking? All right, because spoke over here is the verb, isn't it? So the woman is the one doing the speaking, right? Because the woman spoke to you. So who's the one being spoken to? You are the one being spoken to. You're the object. So therefore, if we want to refer to the woman over here, we need to use who. The woman who spoke to you. So therefore, the answer for number one over here must be A, right? The woman who spoke to you. Any questions for the who versus whom grammatical rule and how it affects you in your grammar MCQs? No? Okay. If you want to take a screenshot over here or you want to write it down or anything, all right, please do so. You can take a screenshot, or if you sign up as a full-time student, you have access to this video, right? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can just come back and rewatch this video. All right, Oscar is writing it down. No problem. Let me know when you're done, Oscar. In the meantime, all right, I will give you another question. For those of you who think you're very good in who versus whom questions, right? Let me give you a question and then you guess whether it's who or whom. All right, listen carefully. The butcher, who or whom, okay, was warned by the health authority, had sold rotten meat at his store. I repeat, the butcher, yes, Habib, you may go to the toilet. The butcher who or the butcher whom had been warned by the health authorities. Which one is it? Who or whom? Make a guess. While those of you who need to write it down. Those of you guess it in the chat group. You can unmute yourself and tell me the answer as well. All right. Abel says who. Okay. Nathan says whom. Jovi says who. Any more guesses? Grace, you want to guess? Me says whom. Okay. How about Grace? You want to guess? No? Okay. The answer is the butcher whom